Hi, welcome to Joanna's DIY Life. Today is another Sew It Saturday, and I am going to be working with some Pioneer Woman fabric because I am redoing, especially just my sewing part, with Pioneer Woman because I love florals, okay? The older I get, the more I love them. I've always loved roses. My daughter's middle name is Rose, so, you know, that's just a thing I've liked all my life. Anyways, we're going to be making curtains for my windows because, you know, you have things so long, you get tired of it, you know, so I'm tired of this, so. And we'll get started, okay? So what you're going to need is your fabric, good pair of scissors, rotary cutter, if you have it. If you don't, scissors are fine. You need a tape measure or something to measure your window. And then I have a straight edge to use my rotary cutter. This is my favorite. It's a Cricut. It's easy to hold on to and make sure that this doesn't cut my hand. And, you know, I have the quilter rulers, which is great too, but, you know, I like this thing, okay? So it's my preference. So this is my old curtain, and if you have an old curtain, it certainly helps because I have made these curtains for my windows before. So I can take my existing curtain and measure it instead of fooling with the window and get my measurements, okay? But what you do is you measure your window. So my window was, hold on, I don't remember. Okay, so my window was 35. So I measured, it was 35. So I know I want at least 35 inches of fabric. So I want to go 35 and a half because I need a half an inch here at least for my hem. And this end I want 2 inches at least. So I'm going to add all those measurements together. So I need to cut my fabric at least 38 inches, okay? So I'm taking this Pioneer Woman fabric. I got this at Walmart on a pre-bolt, which is, I'll just show you because I got another one because I had to. But they look like this. Okay, there's 3 yards to one of these little bolt things. So what I'm going to do is, this is not perfect, okay? See how this is, you know, it's lined here, this was over here. So what you want to do, I always cut before I iron. Now you can iron this whole 3 yards before you cut. That's your choice, okay? That's your doings. This is just how I do it. So I know I needed this much more at least for my top, and I'm going to go a little bit longer because my fabric's not even, okay? And I'll even it up when I cut my panels. So I need 3 of these panels, but y'all don't have to see that. You just see the one. So I'm just going to take and cut just a little bit bigger, okay? So I can even this up. Now I want 3 of these panels, but I'm just going to do 1. And depending on how long your fabric or your windows are, determines how much fabric you're going to need. That's why I bought 2, because I already used some of that fabric. So now I have my fabric piece, and I am going to, of course, you want to iron to get all your little creases out. But I'm going to fold it like this right here in half, okay? I'm just going to fold it in half, making sure that everything is flat. You want to make sure it's even, especially along this edge right here, okay? You really want your folded edge even. Now when you get it flat, I am going to take and My mic is so dumb. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to take my fabric, and you can use your ruler if it's long enough. But I'm just going to cut this selvage off because when you wash it, this selvage will draw up. It'll draw your fabric up. Make sure you get it all. Okay, so I'm going to fold this, keep it folded in half because it's easier to cut that way. And because I cut a little extra, I matched everything up, and I'm going to go iron this, okay? Now, I've got this all ironed. What I'm going to do before I make my measurements, okay, I'm going to make sure that I line this edge along. I don't like to do the bottom because I can't see, so I go up 1 inch, okay? And I line this up on the line, okay? You can use pattern weights or whatever to hold this down. I'm actually going to use an old dumbbell that my husband doesn't use anymore. It's too lightweight for him. You can buy these every day at Walmart. But anyways, make sure all your layers are there, which they are. And then I'm going to put my ruler right on the line. And I'm going to take my rotary. And I am just going to cut this off straight. You want to make sure you have something that you're working with straight. I need to really change my blade because this, I don't know what I used with it, honestly, but it's cruddy. So we have to line this up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my 38 onto a line. Just, it's easier. I'm a mental person. I did not mean that like it. I did not mean that. I'm a visual person. My husband thinks I'm the other. But anyway, I might be. Just scratch that, okay? So I'm going to cut on the 35 because that matches my 38. That's just the way my brain does things, okay? So I know I need to cut on the 35, and that will give me my measurement. So what I'm going to do, I'm telling you these are easy. It's my talking that's the roughest. So I want to do my sides first, okay? This is me. I have a serger. So I'm going to serge my edges all the way around this, okay? I'm just going to serge the whole square. And then I'm going to fold this in and iron it and then stitch it shut. Now, if you don't have that, fold in a little, iron it, and then fold over and create your seam, okay? So it will be sewn like this, and that will finish your edges. So you do the side edges first is what we're going to sew. But because I'm serging, it doesn't matter. I'm going to serge the whole fabric, okay? Now I have a nice finished edge, and I'm just going to, I don't have to iron and then iron and roll over again. But anyways, I am going to figure out which way this fabric goes, and then I'm going to iron the sides in. I sew my sides first because your pole has to slide through there. So you want your sides sewn first before you do anything else. Sew your sides in. You can sew your bottom after your two sides, but I just usually do the two sides, and then I bring it over and iron the top and the bottom, and then go sew the top and the bottom. So my sides are all stitched, and now I am going to, I just want to show you all a trick, okay? This top hem is what my rod is going to go in. Now I just have the little round rods. Now if you have the longer rods, you know, it still works at this edge, but if you want to do a ruffle at the top, which I don't know that anybody does that anymore, but if you did, you'd pull it down and you'd leave a space. You'd sew and then sew another line for your rod to go here, and then this would ruffle as you went up. I am not doing that. I don't even have room in my window for a ruffle. So a good way to measure is to take a piece of cardboard, cut it even, because if you don't cut your cardboard even, then your stuff's not going to be even. You can also do this for the side, just iron it up to this, you know, this line right here. And I cut mine a little short because it's easier than trying to maneuver your fabric over a big long one. So if I want this edge, this is what I use, and I just take this and I'll place this in here, and I'll pull my fabric tight, and I'll iron just over this card, and then I'll move the card down and go just over the card. Now I do this every time. That's just me, okay? The card makes it easier for me to judge. Now if you want to measure this with a seam guide or a ruler, you know, you would take this down. Your inches are actually down here, but you can go, you know, 2 inches, about 2 inches right there. And then you'll place this, and then you'll just pin it, you know. And if you use glass head pins, you can iron right over those. But you can pin it. But I don't pin if I don't have to, because it's just too time consuming. You can also do the same with a ruler. You know, just go up about 2 inches and then pin. Now when you stitch on this, you want to try to stitch on the edge. Make sure you clip all your strings too. But you'll want to stitch on the edge of this so that you don't have all this flopping out, you know. Now we are all sewn, snip, clip, pressed, whatever. And look at this beautiful curtain panel, y'all. I cannot wait to get the other ones done. When I do, I will show you what they look like in my room. And I am probably going to need a new paint job at one point in time, but I'm not sure about that yet. So anyways, we're just going to work with what we got, and I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. Here's what the curtains look like. These are closed, and this is the way I like them tied back. And all I do is just tie a piece of ribbon around the middle because that's the look I like. So I'm in love with my new curtains, y'all. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you'll know when I upload what I upload. With all that being said, you are a blessing, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.